Hey, it's me again. Well, the gift that keeps giving. I've been traveling around talking to a few people today, talking to somebody else in another DA's office here just a while ago. These DAs talk to each other, you know. Anyway, it really turns out that this Sherman Stafford Jr., Sergeant Sherman Stafford Jr., Ennis Police, formerly Ferris, Texas Police Lieutenant. Golly, I guess the apple don't fall far from the tree. When he was over at Ferris, and of course in that news article I linked in my last video, and I'm mobile and I can't link it right now. I don't know how to do it. I'm not that tech savvy. Sorry, forgive me. I'm just a 40-year-old, 40-year service old chief of police, do things old school. I do know some new school stuff, but not that much. But anyway, if you go read the old article, the old link on the last video I did, you will see that when Councilman Burnett, anyway, you can look it up, but a council member said, let's have the chief of police and Lieutenant Sherman Stafford investigated by an outside agency and let them bring in the FBI or other places. Well, his daddy, Sherman Stafford Sr., known as Big Sherman around Ferris, said, I'll kill that son of a bitch, meaning that council person, for trying to investigate his son and turn up his wrongdoing. Then he was overheard later, which is also reported, that he said he should have wore his white robe up there and brought his Confederate flag, alluding to they were Klansmen and in the Confederacy, and they shouldn't do his son like that. So it looks like to me, maybe I'm drawing the wrong conclusion, but it looks like Sherman Sr. and Sherman Jr. might be Klansmen, part of the old Confederacy. It would stand to reason the way they acted and treated poor old Patrick over at Now Patrick. So we should find out, and we should be able to deposition Sherman Sr., Sherman Stafford Sr. and Jr., and deposition them and ask them both about being a part of the Ku Klux Klan, being in the white robes and part of the Confederacy, because the Klan and the Confederacy believes in deprivation of people's civil rights. And they have a long, long history of doing that, which would explain how his actions there. And it would explain a lot of his other peculiar and strange behavior now and in the past. So, do yourself a favor. Look up Sherman Stafford, Ferris, Texas Police, Sherman Stafford, Ennis, Texas Police. Then just look up Sherman Stafford and begin to go through the articles. There's lots and lots of articles on Google, Bing, iXQuick, private search page, and other things, and you can begin to unravel this. He's quirky, he's weird, he has criminal and civil conduct. T-Close should have revoked his license years ago. And when I do another video, when I get some more content on this, when I do some more video, I will put down the address and the phone number for anybody that wants to contact T-Cole, what it's called now, it used to be T-Close, contact them and their in-house investigation. You could also call the Texas Department of Public Safety Division of Texas Rangers. Okay, Texas Rangers are usually the ones that would go out and do the investigation for T-Cole, or would go out and do an independent investigation based on real tangible evidence, such as the actual video that he has. And then they can go back and get the records from that meeting, the minutes that were usually recorded audio. Then they can go back and get sworn affidavits from people. And by the way, if they did exactly what was said, and they misused the reserve police account, which is supposed to buy equipment for reserves. And that's it. Okay, I've dealt with auxiliary and part-time and reserve police officer accounts in the past. I've either been the lead or secondary signature on there. They're very, very strict, and you keep very strict records about, say, John Doe, a good citizen, donates $25. You write their name, their address down, their telephone number, how much they give, and it's a transparent record. It's available for public inspection. Okay, I actually had one of these happen over in Northwest Florida. I was working for a sheriff's office and helping the auxiliary sheriff's unit out, and I had actually got Pepsi-Cola and Coca-Cola in Dallas to donate a lot of things, including some money to the auxiliary fund of a sheriff's department over there. Excuse me, sheriff's office, not a department, the office of the sheriff. And I had to record all this stuff. So somebody else that was running for sheriff got really pissed off and said, well, this is thousands of dollars of equipment or, goods like Pepsi and Coca-Cola products and stands and hot dog meats and all this stuff that was just at a rodeo just to help support and get money in for the auxiliary. Of course, I kept very good records, and I said, it's a non-issue. You ain't even got to put in a request. What do you want to see? And I just took the records out and photocopied them and gave them to the man that was running for sheriff. I said, it's all transparent. I took care of it all myself. You can depot me. I'm straight as an arrow, okay? I might make some mistakes, but I've owned up to them. And I still, if I make a mistake now, I own up to it. I'll say I'm sorry. I'll ask forgiveness. I'm not perfect. Only Jesus, not me. Okay, but part of my news report is that all my sources indicate that this is a long pattern. And if they misuse this account, then there are banking laws and banking regulations in Texas. And this was about 5 years ago. So it should be within a 7-year statute of limitations on federal crimes. Just like if they paid cash out of it or wrote checks for cash and they did not take out money for the Internal Revenue Service, your IRS taxes, and you didn't get your like a 1099 as an independent contractor, and you didn't pay in on your Social Security, those are crimes. So then the police department is tied up in committing criminal acts as an agency, and that agency could be closed down by the Attorney General's office. Okay, and the Attorney General's office, Ken Paxton's office, needs to look into that, and I'll try and put Ken Paxton's information in there. It don't just go away because it's old, okay? This guy's still carrying a badge and a gun out there in Ennis, Texas, and he's still violating people's civil rights. This is very serious, okay? And it's a systematic pattern. Anyway, I think we're going to need to talk to the DA's office if it goes any further. Right now, we don't need to. Just leave them alone, because I think that they know this is a nothing burger, and they know they got a long-term troubled sergeant out there in Ennis that don't know his head from a hole in the ground. Okay? I'm being nice there. And it's very apparent. This is an opinion, and I'm entitled to it. This is an editorial on my journalistic part here, bringing this story to you and giving my opinion on it, which I'm entitled to, okay? So when people's been wrongdoing like this for a long time, where there's smoke, there's fire, okay? There's a lot of damn smoke around Sergeant Sherman Stafford, Ennis, Texas Police. I wouldn't trust him with a bucket of nuts. He shows he's dysfunctional. He may have a mental issue, okay? People with mental issues don't need guns. He may have a mental issue, because nobody in their right mind would continue to shine a light in somebody's eye until they blind them. Especially a Texas licensed, trained peace officer would not knowingly and intelligently and willfully blind a man. Okay? He would know that's a crime. He would know that's poor conduct. Even a normal man wouldn't do that. Okay? It's just insanity. It just really boils my blood. Okay? And on my phone, the cops I know I couldn't make this video for damn answering phone for all the cops I know, or detectives, or people with other DA's offices calling me. I actually got flagged down by one a few minutes ago wanting to talk to me about this case at a different DA's office. They said, boy, that Pat, man, that's a wide open federal lawsuit. That's a civil rights division of the Department of Justice investigation. It's just Bremen. You need to go ahead and get Ennis and Ferris tied up in this thing and go ahead and move forward. Now, does Ennis, Texas have good police officers? I'm sure they do. Does Ferris have good police officers? I'm sure they do. But this just ain't one of them, and it needs to be cleaned up. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.